Good morning, everybody. Today we're gonna get started on the turbo kit for TJ's FRS HKS Turbo build. Yesterday I went ahead and did the timing cover reseal, so that's all on. I'm just waiting on the front main seal for that, and then we can throw the crank pulley on as well as the serpentine belt. So in the meantime, we're gonna get started on taking off the headers. Obviously all the rock shields beneath need to come off. There's probably a mess underneath the car from doing the timing cover reseal. So we're gonna get headers removed, oil pan removed, and then reseal the oil pan and start putting in the turbo kit. Exciting stuff for today, so no time to waste. Let's get started.
Don't take it down. Don't take it down. Don't take it down. Don't take it down. I needed you another way. Giving up another one. Break me. I'll take it all and let you lay. It's moving on to look away. Run. I needed you another way. Giving up another one. Break me. I'll take it all and let you lay. It's moving on to look away. Run.
This is what it turns out looking like. Barely anything, just a nice little thin bead coming around the surface here. All the way around. It's probably easier to see on this side because the light's over here. But yeah, as you can see, that's it. And then also RTV from the timing cover. It's just a very thin amount that comes out the side. That's all you want. You don't want a big blob of it. That's how you end up with crap in your oil pan that gets sucked up into the oil pump that gets into the rod bearings, and no bueno. But yeah, that'll do it. We are Gucci boys. Alright, based on what I'm reading here, sacrifices are gonna have to be made. We don't need certain parts of metal that will have to be shaved away, and ventilation is no longer needed on the radiator. So looks like we got some holes to drill, some metal to cut. Don't have to worry about that, and more holes to cut.
Right, here we go.
purge solenoid lines can be very difficult and kind of daunting. I actually had to look it up to see where exactly it was. It just said it was underneath the intake manifold. Now if you look up under there, you can see These two hoses, those are the two hoses that you want to pull off. They slid off, and I was able to remove the hose clamps out of the car. And then the one goes to right here, and the other one goes behind the throttle body, which I used 45-degree long nose, needle nose pliers to get to. So if you must know, that's where those are, and those are the hose clamps you need to put on them. Next order of business, we got to plumb the oil fittings. These have to be fairly tight. The only thing for you can seal on these is the tape itself. So you want to get it in there enough so it crushes the tape, but not the threads, if you're doing NDT fittings. There we go. So that's good for that.
Now to reinstall this one, it goes down here. If I can get it started. I had too much caffeine today. Whew! Guys, starting to get too much.
Alright, you guys, that's going to do it for day 2. I'm cutting it short today because my wife is coming home. We're going out to dinner. May not look like it, but I did get a whole lot done today. We got the oil pan put on, old one removed, the new one installed. I got the bracket installed, but that's going to have to come off. I did get the turbocharger ready to go. We got all the coolant pipes and oil inlet and oil drain pipes put on that. We got the radiator support cut out, ready to go with that, as well as the intercooler bracket down low, which is now installed. So once I get that front main seal in, hopefully tomorrow morning I'll head down to Subaru and pick up the front main seal. But I'll catch y'all tomorrow, so hang tight. Welcome back, you guys. Today is the day. I got an insanely busy day. I'm actually going to try to get TJ's FRS done. Whoop. Let me point you in the right direction. I'm going to try to get TJ's FRS done, get the turbo kit installed anyways, get this thing back in the running condition. I want to get it running before I install the fuel injectors and the MAF because I do not have access to his tune file. Somebody else has to send me a tune file. So I want to at least get it running like this and make sure everything's good and kosher before we go and change out the injectors and the MAF. I got this to do and the CRX, and we're going to try and knock them both out, at least get the CRX running today. This one should hopefully be running by the end of the day as well. But again, I'll have to pull it back apart once I get those new parts in. So let's get to work, y'all. We got a long day ahead of us. So this is what we got, because the oil pan on this one comes out over here instead of over here. We're not using the factory, the HKS recommended way of doing it, where they want you to weld on this pipe here. TJ went ahead and bought a pre-welded pan. So what I'm actually going to do is I got the hose that came with it, and I added my own AN line. Oh, it's not AN technically. It's just a nylon braided hose onto this pipe. And that pipe's going to sit right where the serpentine belt is to kind of protect it in case the serpentine belt flaps or comes loose or anything like that. And this is going to be the drain pipe. As long as it's a downward motion the entire way to the oil pan and no oil gets backed up in it, we're good to go. So there is a water hose right here. It's a little dark down there, but there's a water hose right here that my finger is on. It goes to the back side of the engine block. We need to cut it right here route it to this side of the intake manifold and out, and it's going to plumb to right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. So, note to anybody installing one of these and wants to fire it up with the ECU loose. It won't start. Engine ECU has to be bolted to the motor in order for this thing to start. Who knew? Anyways, let's fire it up and see what she's got. Alright, there we have it. She starts, she runs. I'm going to go ahead and top off the coolant, make sure everything's ready to go. I'll probably take her around the block once it's warmed up, double check underneath, make sure there's no oil leaks, because we did do the timing cover. This kit's going to sound a little different now, because it's no longer unequal length header. It is now a equal length turbo kit. Ooh, sorry, excuse me, I just had lunch. Once everything checks out good, I'm going to put it up in the air, install the new fuel injectors we got as well as the MAF, and then we'll need to upload a new tune. But as of right now, this will run like a normal FRS. My thoughts anyways. It'll drive like a mostly normal FRS on the original tune as long as you don't get into boost. Oh, the joy of modifying cars. You get to the very end of it and you think, oh, I only have a little bit more to go. Let's just wrap this up real quick. And then you start putting shit back together and shit just doesn't go back together the same because it's not the same. Sure enough, we're putting the front bumper on. I'm thinking I'm on the home stretch, and lo and behold, the oil cooler doesn't fit with the front bumper. So, gotta move the oil cooler. Alright, so if you guys were curious as to how we reposition the oil cooler, this is it. You can see the hole from where it was originally. I had to shift it back probably about 3 inches almost. So I just wanted to show you this neat little trick I just found, or I just came up with. So he doesn't have an actual front, a factory front bash bar. He has this tubular one. he didn't have a place to put his horn. So he doesn't have a place for these brackets either. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie the horn to the intercooler brackets that we're not going to be using. And then he'll have a factory placed horn that's actually mounted where it needs to be. So today is going to be kind of a slow day of work. I'm not going to be so much working on the car. I'm going to be doing a lot of little technical stuff. I uploaded the tune already last week. He did get ID 1050 injectors on the car. So I installed those. I did that off camera. The injectors are actually very easy to do. He had plug and play kit. So I installed the injectors. I swapped out the map sensor for him. Uploaded a new tune. And we're going to be doing some driving around today, get some data logging, send it off to his tuner. I'm not going to be tuning this car. He's going to be daily driving this car, and he really wants to just set it and forget it. My own car, I'll be tuning my own car. But we've got a e-tune going into this thing. So this is going to be it. Like I said, hopefully this is the last day. TJ will be able to pick his car up probably later on this week or next weekend after some driving, testing, just make sure everything's good and sound for him. Because he does have an hour drive from here after all this work was done. So, a little unnerving, and maybe not so much. Makes just the right noises. It's not too loud. Personally, I like things a little bit more subtle, but overall, not too bad. This is good. This is really good. I know this was going to happen because I've owned my car for 8 years. He's owned this one for probably about the same. And I knew the moment that I turbocharged my car, I'm going to wish I would have done it 8 years ago. But obviously I have 2 other builds that keep me occupied and take a lot of money. So in that sense, it was nice to have a good-looking, reliable daily driver. And hopefully, even after I turbo it, now that I'm older, I have a lot more sense as to what I'm doing. Again, I have a couple little problems with this one, such as the HKS kit that's installed doesn't have a blow-off valve. The intake sits right next to the valve cover on the driver's side. So I'm not too big on the intake location, and the fact that there's no blow-off valve kind of deters me. Also, the turbo seems to be use a lot of older technology, but that's not really too big of a problem. Besides those things, like, the kit was very detailed. Install instructions were very well detailed. The car still drives like a normal FRS. Alright, you guys, I guess that's gonna do it for TJ's HKS Turbo FRS build. He's coming to pick it up tomorrow. I got it all washed up here very nicely. I'm gonna give you a quick run around, give you some pointers, just a few things that, you know, I found that I liked in this kit and things that I don't really like. One being the intake is in the engine bay. It's right near the motor, So it's going to get a lot of heat soak, really high air intake temps on that. One other thing I don't really care for is the fact that there's no blow-off valve. Granted, it is a smaller turbo. He's not running too much boost. There's a lot of turbo flutter and 0 blow-off valve. So might put a little bit of extra wear and tear on the turbo. But other than that, you know, everything else in this kit, the details are fantastic. I mean, you got HKS embedded here on a heat shield. You got heat shields down here. It came with the heat wrap for all the wire harness and everything. It tells you exactly where to put it. I'm not sure if you can see it down there, but on the header, there's even a flex pipe on the header itself. They instruct you exactly where to cut out on the chassis here. So other than that, I mean, the kit came out really good. It was very easy to put together, very straightforward, well documented directions and everything. So that's gonna do it for today. That's gonna do it for this build here. Hope you guys enjoy this series. Maybe in the next couple months we'll get a build series going on my BRZ. We'll put a turbo kit in that thing. But that should do it. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please like, comment if you have any questions or anything like that. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button. We'll see ya.